Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another spicy episode of the Sanity stream with Lucius Coal. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course leave a comment if you think I deserve it. The Coal Factory and the Coal Train on our way to 1,000 Patriots strong. Thanks to people like you watching content like this. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, today's show is absolutely spicy. We are hitting the top of the food chain, ladies and gentlemen. We are going apex predator on the election fraud right now. For those of you who haven't seen what's going on in terms of Georgia and the apparent and absolutely devastating video evidence that's coming out right now, it is absolutely insane. The lefties and the Democrats aren't going to be able to say there's no more fraud, and of course there are some propagandists out there, I kid you not, who are saying this is all normal, guys. This is what democracy looks like. Don't you know, ladies and gentlemen? You tell everybody to leave so that you can secretly count votes. That's part of democracy. God, you stupid Trump supporters. Now, I like this particular clip. If you haven't checked it out, it's on the Donald.win. The Donald.win, check it out. Amazing Trump supporting website. And the way they do this particular video is it's a composite. So they attach all of the video angles together to give you a more thorough breakdown of what you're actually looking at. So I'm only going to briefly play this. I recommend you check out the entire clip. I believe RSBN was streaming it live. You can check it out there, but I am going to go into it right here, so take a look.
Catch up with there you go, with the time that you're seeing. So here you see it's all cleared out. We just went from 10:25 to 10:37. The place is a ghost town. This is where the people were vacated and told, go home, come back at 8:30. We will now stop working and stop counting.
Unreal. So apparently this woman in blonde braids actually told everybody to go home. Told everybody to leave, that, hey, you know what, we're done counting votes for the night, we're really tired, we just can't do it anymore, it's just, I know it's election day and everybody wants to know who the next president of the United States is, but we need our sleepy times, we need our nappy times, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the moment everybody leaves, including the media, including the poll watchers, what do? Well, take a look. They find some magical ballots, guys, and, let's see.
But notice who stays behind. You have 4 people, consistent with our affidavits, who stayed behind. And so you'll see the lady in purple. You'll see 2 women in yellow in the back, which is where the scanners are there at the top.
Okay, I'm going to try to find the part where they actually have some ballots for some reason underneath a table.
Basically, they've wrapped up. This is the end of their operation. They've now completed about 2 hours of unsupervised tabulation of ballots. So now you're going to watch them leave.
Interesting. Very, very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. And the most interesting part of all of this is what exactly happened? I think you remember that giant vote dump that happened for Biden. Is there any correlation? Is there any, I don't know, is there any string attached to what actually happened with these people secretly counting ballots? And then this giant jump of about 200,000 votes for Biden and about 50,000 for Trump. You know what? Let me give you the actual numbers here. Take a look at this chart here. So 1104 at 109 and 136 was a giant vote dump of 225,000 for Biden and 99,000 for Trump. So an over 125,000 vote differential. Very, very interesting what happened here. And would you look at that? You know, for some God knows reason, it just so happens to line up with the timestamps of the time those people were secretly counting ballots into the night. Huh. But nothing to see here, guys. Fake news. If you post about any of this on Twitter, you're going to get a nice little tag that says, this election fraud is disputed. Don't believe your eyes, guys. Don't believe your eyes, okay? Don't believe your eyes, guys. This is totally normal. This is what democracy looks like. You go into the darkness of night, because that's when, you know, just like Antifa, just like Black Lives Matter, you go out in the darkness where you're able to commit crimes. And that's what you do, guys. That's exactly what you do. And for those, I mean, I had a genuine reaction that day. I'll link it up in the corner up here about what happened in Wisconsin as well, on the day of the election, I truly was mind melted of how Joe Biden had won the election, and I think all of us see exactly what's going on here. So, for those of you who haven't watched or didn't actually see the live feed on RSBN, this particular woman was saying, all of this is debunked. It's all debunked, guys. It's all debunked. This election fraud is debunked. The media tells me what I need to know. It puts the thoughts into my brain so I don't have to think. And I got to tell you, this woman's reaction is about every white liberal who has Trump derangement syndrome to the extreme. I mean, look at this. Oh my God. It's like she's having a seizure. She's literally, her brain has gotten so melted. It's gotten to the point where it literally can't accept information that's coming into her very pupils. The information goes against everything that she's been propagandized with. And because of that, her RAS, her reticular activation system, her ability to focus literally just goes. This is the NPC meme, guys. This is literally the droid breaking down in front of our eyes. Insanity. Insanity. Speaking of insanity, we're going to start seeing a little bit of a change, guys. We're going to start seeing a little bit of a change in terms of the propaganda. It's going to get to the point where we're kind of hitting that point on where the dam can be broken. Okay? And there's so much evidence that's piling up at this point that's questioning the legitimacy of the election that the media is going to need a new spin. And the way they're going to do this is by pointing at us, by pointing at you, by pointing at Trump supporters, by pointing out Republicans, libertarians, people who have, I don't know, individual liberties, individual thoughts, making sure that you yourself are the one who is ordained with your own destiny and not trying to suck on the tit of the government. I know. Hard stuff, guys. But you can take a look at some of the propaganda coming in. Georgia investigates Florida Republican evil man. God, they found me, guys. They found me, ladies and gentlemen. It's always Florida man. This time it's Florida Republican man. Accused of trying to register for runoff. Florida attorney accused of fraudulently applying to register to vote in Georgia so he could vote in next month's U.S. Senate runoff elections. The Secretary of State's office alleged Thursday that Bill Price told members of the Bay County, Florida Republican Party that he was planning to move in with his brother in Georgia so he could register to vote in the January 5th runoffs. And this is Saul Alinsky. And by the way, I'm going to start doing a book review. Maybe it's going to be every week, every 2 weeks, every month. But I'm going to be going into some very taboo books. For those of you maybe who are interested, and just kind of give a rough summary about what I think. They're going to be mostly near and dear towards political discourse, or maybe even sociology or psychology in terms of a political acumen. Saul Alinsky is going to be on that. And then some taboo books as well. I wanted to do Mein Kampf. I wanted to read White Identity. I wanted to read just basically anything that's banned. I don't necessarily fall in line with a lot of these ideas, but it's very good to have a large breadth of knowledge in terms of knowing how to view the world and what's actually happening in terms of this political discourse. But again, this is a trade book pointing at what you are doing and saying you are the one doing the thing that they themselves are doing. This is what happened with Joe Biden when they're pointing out that, oh my God, Donald Trump is going in with Ukraine. And of course, it was Biden the entire time. This is when, hey, oh my God, there's election fraud. No, it's not the Democrats. It's the Republicans. You guys, you did it. We're going to single out one guy when we're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes right now. But of course. Now, we do have some good news out of Georgia. And again, I have been very much a black pill type individual right now. And the reason why I say this, and it's very unfortunate, but quick story. For those of you who don't know about George Carlin, this was about 20 years ago. And he was basically complaining about the state of our political process and the people that are in power, and how it's basically a revolving door of the same people putting in roughly the same type of legislation that is ultimately hurting the American people. He has one quote that is often quoted that is said, it's one big party, and you're not in it. The Democrats and the Republicans are basically the same thing. You'll find it very hard to argue anything but. Now, you could point to, if you take a look at our foreign policy before Trump, basically the same in line. If you talk about deficit spending, now, of course, you could say the Democrats spent more, but does it really make a difference if you're driving at a wall at 100 miles per hour, or if you're driving at a wall at 70 miles per hour? Either way, you're hitting the wall, and either way, you are not being you're gonna die. So, don't mean to be black-pilled here, but Brian Kemp has already certified Georgia, already certified the election. Now, of course, there are a ton of states that actually waited. Pennsylvania, for example, waited until the day before Inauguration Day last time around to actually certify their vote. And yet, here they are rushing this through now. You got to ask yourself why.
Senator Loeffler, I called early on for a signature audit. Obviously, the Secretary of State, per the laws and the Constitution, would have to order that. He has not done that. I think it should be done. I think, especially with what we saw today, it raises more questions. There needs to be transparency on that. I would again call for that, and I think in the next 24 hours, hopefully we'll see a lot more from the hearings that the legislature had today, and we'll be able.
It's just blah 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 bull. It's all bunk, guys. This is all fanfare. This is all political party acumen, elites simply telling you what you want to hear. This has no balls behind it, no teeth behind it, and that's why I'm not really getting behind what's going on in terms. I'm becoming quite black-pilled. I might even say I'm getting to the point where I'm actually developing a case of I believe they call it accelerationism. Basically, the idea that it's a race to the bottom. So the faster you can get to the bottom, the quicker you can rebuild. And seeing the way that the country is currently being run, the way the country is currently being governed, the people not standing up for small businesses, not standing up for the integrity of an election system. At this point, what exactly are we fighting for? Why are we fighting for Republicans? And it's funny, because there's so much shame right now being tossed at Republicans who are defecting, who are saying, you know what? The Republican Party did not fight for Donald Trump. They fought on him against the wall. They fought against him on the wall, H-1 visas. They fought on him in terms of big tech. They fought against him in terms of the election. What exactly has the GOP done? The GOP just put out a bill the other day that got passed unanimously by the Senate. No defectors out of the entire Senate. No Josh Hawley. Rick Scott jumped on board. No Rubio. No nothing. Nobody. Nobody said no. And what this was going to do was allow the United States to bring in more foreign workers to come in and take American jobs. How is that America first? How is that America first? Given everything going on right now, the massive amount of unemployment from these lockdowns, an absolutely disgusting display of governance, and nobody standing up and fighting, and the freaking cops being the goddamn bootlickers that they are, just running in lockstep with these draconian edicts. It disgusts me. I am not supporting the GOP. I was never a Republican. I was a Trump. I am. I was gonna say I was the freaking propaganda. I am a Trump supporter. So don't blame me for not wanting to get behind you. Don't blame me when you don't care about your constituency. You don't. You don't care about us. You despise us. That's why you're bringing in foreign workers to take American jobs. They took our jobs! They took our jobs! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are. And just to see how this type of governance really works, I want you to take a look at this video here. This is a bar owner out of Los Angeles, for those of you who don't know what's going on in terms of basically a total lockdown in terms of the city of Los Angeles and LA County currently in a similar lockdown, not as hardcore as the city itself. But this is for, by the way, a 99.8 survival rate virus. So take a look at this woman. It's sad.
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved.
So again, they've locked down outdoor dining. This woman set up outdoor dining. Then they made it illegal to have outdoor dining. And take a look what's being set up across the street.
This has approved this being set up for a movie company.
Rules for thee, but not for me. Are you part of the elite? No. And honestly, I really am. I'm becoming so black-pilled. I wonder, like, this fight that we are engaging in. We are against everything. We're against everyone. They have their useful idiots. They have a bot army. They have big tech. They have the big bankers. They have the election machines now. They have big business, multinational corporations. They have the media. They have the police. They have everything. They have everything. Sometimes I wonder, and it would go against my entire moral foundation. I wasn't a lefty very long, and for the record, I did vote for Obama in 2008. It was my very first vote. My very first legal vote. So I haven't always been on the right, but I always wondered, would it have just been easier to just be one of those useful idiots and just live in La La Land and believe the propaganda? I forget who it was in The Matrix. There's one character in particular who wants to actually go back. You know, he took the red pill and he regrets it. And actually, leave it down in the comment below. Do you regret taking the red pill? Everything that you know, your friends, especially if you have liberal friends or lefty friends, thinking you're weird or thinking you're a patriot, apparently that's crazy. Supporting America is insane nowadays. Wanting to try to hold on to the civilization, trying to stop foreigners from coming in mass. I have no problem with legal immigration. But basically illegal crossings. I don't know. Would it have just been easier? Should I have just taken the blue pill? Should I have just stayed in the Matrix? But again, take a look at this. It's really sad.
Away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. It's dangerous. Mayor Garcetti.
This isn't. Oh, this gets me so angry, guys. This gets me so angry. And when I think about like going out, no, I can't. You know what? Let's just keep going. I can't say that. Can't say that. Maybe when things get a little bit rougher, guys. I don't know. It's just like, where's our breaking point? Where is our breaking point? Look at this woman. She is being treated like dirt. And then there's a media company across the street that have giant tents, all approved by the mayor, by the governor, no big deal, and her business is closed. How is she going to survive? And then I cannot believe the left is supposed to be full of empathy. The left should look at this and say, something's wrong here. Something is wrong. But they've gotten to the point that they are so afraid of COVID that they will literally make this woman homeless, make her family homeless, have her living on the streets so that she can be safe, so that everyone can be safe. What? Her message is powerful.
And Gavin Newsome is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
Guys, like I said, I say this on every single podcast at this point. Do yourself a favor. I don't even care if you I don't even at this point I want patriots in there, okay? We need patriots in positions of power. I don't care if it's a small position of power. I don't care if it's the president of the United States. I don't care if you're working pest control or parks and recreation or if you're the leader of the free world. We need more patriots in government. I don't even care if you work 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks, can't even find the time to actually go and run for a particular office. Just find out how to get on the ballot. I don't care if you don't do any Facebook ads, you don't do any social media, you don't go and canvass, you don't go door to door, you don't put up signs. I don't care. Because there is a percentile chance of just getting on the ballot will be enough. It will be enough. And then your name everywhere you go will be, hey, that was that guy that ran. Hey, that was that girl that ran. Let's build an army, guys. Coal factory, coal train, let's get this thing going, guys. These people need help. This is truly clown world, guys. Cuomo received an Emmy. Cuomo, the governor of New York, the highest amount of deaths in all of America. And yet, he's the one to receive the Emmy. Okay? Fauci is Time's Person of the Year. Fauci, the one who blundered this entire thing, told everybody to lock down everything. Everyone knew at that point, even everyone knew that the virus did not spread among children like it does with older adults. And yet, he said, close everything down, shut down the schools. Now, just as of last week, he said that schools should be open. Ironic. It was, right after Joe Biden won, for some reason. I don't know. Biden is president-elect. Joe Biden got more votes than any presidential candidate in the history of the United States. And not only that, but got black voters to come out in such force, ladies and gentlemen, that he beat the black vote compared to the first black president, Barack Obama, in 2008 and 2012. You can't make it up, guys. You cannot make this up. What a complete joke. I kind of made reference to this before when I was talking about George Carlin and how it's one big party and you're not in it. This is back from 2004, the Forum of Young Global Leaders. It's by Klaus Schwab. I believe he's an investor. Founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. That's right. The man himself. The Great Reset. Created the Forum of Young Global Leaders in 2004 to help meet the increasingly complex and interdependent problems. Here's who we have. We have Alexander Soros. Interesting. Tulsi Gabbard. This one made me really sad. Both these guys, red flag law people, by the way. Dan Crenshaw, another neocon. Sometimes buddies up with Steven Crowder on YouTube. He's a joke. Mark Zuckerberg. David Day Rothschild. Interesting. And then Megan Rapinoe. It's one big club, guys, and we're not in it. It's one big club, and we're not in it. And this is kind of my final thoughts here. This is by John Cardillo. The FEC, GOP and RNC scammed you out of $200 million since Election Day to combat voter fraud. Do you want to know how much they spent on legal doing that? $4 million, 2%. The Rhinos pocketed 98% of your donations and did nothing to help real Donald Trump. Don't give them another dime. We need to take over the Republican Party. We need people in there that are going to fight. We need patriots that aren't going to take foreign money. We need people in there that are willing to torch their own party members and say, on the Senate floor, you took money from this company. You took money from this company. You put this in this bill. I want people's names. I want what companies are funding them. I want to know what they're getting in return. I want traitors to hang. This is insane what's happening right now. America is being destroyed from within, from these monsters. Either way, guys, let's keep fighting. Let's keep winning. Let's keep exposing the fraud. Let's make sure Donald Trump gets another 4 years. And by the way, do me a favor. I don't know how you guys feel about Julian Assange, but right now he's not doing too well. Obviously, he's been imprisoned in the UK for quite a while, and I think it is long overdue that Donald Trump pardons Julian Assange. Either way, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Coltrane.